So you've got this old laptop collecting dust in a closet. It's too slow for modern Windows. It chokes when you have more than 3 browser tabs open, and the idea of running a code editor on it seems like a joke. You've probably been told that to start your coding journey, you need to drop $1,000 or more on a powerful new machine. I'm here to tell you that's a myth. That old laptop you're about to throw away has more than enough power to learn web development, Python, and just about any other programming language. In fact, forcing yourself to work on a lean, optimized machine can make you a better, more efficient developer. Ulines learn what's really necessary, and you 1 TB bog it down by bloated software. Today, we are going to perform a digital miracle. We're going to take that sluggish, frustrating piece of hardware and transform it into a clean, fast, and incredibly capable coding beast, and we're going to do it all for free. No paid software, no expensive upgrades, just pure optimization. This is the ultimate guide to a $0 coding setup. The single most important decision we're going to make, and the one that will have the biggest impact on performance, is ditching Windows. Now, before you panic, hear me out. We're replacing it with a lightweight Linux distribution. Linux is the operating system that powers most of the internet, and it's a developer's best friend. It's free, it's open source, it's incredibly secure, and it runs flawlessly on older hardware. The version of Linux we're going to use is called Linux Mint with the XFCE desktop environment. This isn't some complicated, command-line-only operating system you see in the movies. It has a full graphical desktop that's intuitive and easy to use, but it's designed from the ground up to be fast and efficient. It will feel like you've installed a brand new engine in your laptop. The first step is to create a bootable USB drive. Ulines need a USB stick with at least 8 GB of space and a working computer to set it up. We'll head to the Linux Mint website, download the XFCE edition, and then use a free tool called Balena Etcher to write the download to the USB drive. This doesn't affect the working computer at all, it's just a tool for the job. Once that's done, you plug the USB drive into your old laptop, restart it, and tell it to boot from the USB. This is usually done by pressing a key like F12, F2, or delete during startup to access the boot menu. This is just a test drive. It runs the entire operating system from the USB stick, so you can make sure everything works before you commit. Once you've booted into Linux Mint and you're happy with how it runs, the next step is to install it permanently. This is the point of no return, so it's absolutely critical that you back up any files, photos, or documents from your old laptop before you proceed. The installation process will completely erase the hard drive. The Linux Mint installer is famously simple. You just double-click the Install Linux Mint icon on the desktop, follow the prompts for your language and keyboard layout, and when it gets to the installation type, you choose Erase Disk and install Linux Mint. This is the easiest option and exactly what we want for a clean slate. You'll create a username and password, let the installer do its thing for about 10 to 20 minutes, and then you'll be prompted to restart. When you pull out the USB drive and boot up again, you will be absolutely shocked. Your laptop will boot in under 30 seconds. The interface will be snappy and responsive. You've just completed the most significant performance upgrade possible, and it cost you nothing. You've now got a clean, modern, and powerful operating system ready for the next step. Now that we have our lean operating system, it's time to install the tools of the trade. The first and most important tool for most developers is a powerful code editor, and the king right now is Visual Studio Code. The beautiful thing about Linux is that we have a built-in app store called the Software Manager. You can open it, search for Visual Studio Code, and install it with a single click. It's that easy. But the pro move, the thing that will make your life easier in the long run, is to learn the basics of the terminal. Open the terminal. It's just an application you can search for. This is where the real power of Linux lies. We can use a package manager called apt to install software. To install VS Code from the terminal, we'd first update our software list by typing sudo apt update and then install it with sudo apt install code. This might seem intimidating, but it's faster and ensures you get the latest version. This is how you'll install most of your developer tools, and embracing the terminal is a core part of becoming a developer. With our code editor ready, we need to install the core programming runtimes. First up is Git. Git is a version control system, and it's essential for managing your code and collaborating with others. It's installed just as easily with a single command in the terminal, sudo apt install git. Next, we need Node.js if you have any interest in web development. Instead of installing it directly from the default repositories, we'll use a method to get a more recent version. We can use the node source repository. We'll add that repository to our system's software sources and then install Node.js and npm, its package manager. This gives us the ability to run JavaScript outside of a browser and manage thousands of open source libraries. Finally, we'll install Python. One of the best things about Linux is that Python almost always comes pre-installed. We can check the version by typing Python 3a version into the terminal. If for some reason it's not there, it's a simple sudo apt install Python 3 away. And just like that, with a few commands, we've installed a complete professional-grade development environment. Let's talk about optimization and workflow. Now that all the core software is installed, we can fine-tune our system for an even better coding experience. Inside Visual Studio Code, head to the Extensions Marketplace and install a few key ones. Prettier is a code formatter that will automatically clean up your code, making it consistent and readable. ESLint will help you catch errors and problematic patterns in your JavaScript code as you type. These are tools used by professional developers everywhere. Another pro tip is to use the built-in System Monitor to see just how little resources you're reusing. You'll likely see that you're using only a fraction of your RAM and CPU, even with VS Code and a browser running. This is the power of a lean system. To make your terminal more powerful and pleasant to use, consider installing ZSH with the Omish framework. It provides helpful plugins, themes, and auto-completion, making the terminal a joy to work in. Finally, organize your workspace. Create a dedicated folder in your home directory called Projects or Code where you store all your future coding work. This simple act of organization sets the stage for a professional workflow. You've not only revived an old machine, you've built a focused, distraction-free environment for learning one of the most valuable skills in the world. This setup isn't just a budget alternative. For many developers, it's the preferred way to work. You've saved money, saved hardware from a landfill, and given yourself the perfect tool to begin your coding journey. Now, the only thing left to do is to start building.